Signs of Divinity. The Bible is clear that Jesus Christ is the eternal Son, one with the Father, underived and uncreated. Christ, from the very beginning, always kept his divinity and did things that revealed this divinity. But John wants us to see it again, with new eyes. He wants us to see Jesus, not just as a man, but as the Son of God. John carefully crafted his gospel. He chose specific stories. These weren't just miracles. They were signs, each one a window. A glimpse into the divine nature of Jesus, each miracle a brushstroke painting a portrait of the Messiah. Thus I implore you to watch till the end. John doesn't just tell us, he shows us. He invites us to witness, to experience the awe, the wonder, the undeniable power of God in the flesh. These signs weren't for the spectacle, they were for something deeper. They pointed to something more. They were meant to stir faith, to awaken belief, to reveal the heart of God. The feeding of the 5,000, John 6:1-14. In the Gospel of John, this event takes place after Jesus has crossed the Sea of Galilee, and a large crowd follows him because of the miraculous healings they have witnessed. Jesus sees the large crowd and asks Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" Philip answers, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, speaks up, "Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish, but how far will they go among so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." There was plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. After the people saw the sign Jesus performed, they began to say, "Surely this is the prophet who is to come into the world." Jesus, knowing that they intended to come and make him king by force, withdrew again to a mountain by himself. This miracle was not just about feeding the hungry, it was a sign of God's provision and abundance, a reminder that with Jesus there is always enough, more than enough to meet our needs, more than we could ever ask or imagine. Healing of a blind man, a man born blind, hopeless. Jesus sees him. His disciples ask, who sinned, this man or his parents? Jesus answers, neither this man nor his parents sinned. This happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. Jesus makes mud with his saliva, applies it to the man's eyes. Go, he tells him, wash in the pool of Siloam. The man goes and washes. He comes back seeing. His neighbors and those who had seen him beg ask, isn't this the same man who used to sit and beg? Some claimed he was. Others said, no, he only looks like him, but he insisted, I am the man. The Pharisees investigate. They ask how he received his sight. He tells them, he put mud on my eyes and I washed, and now I see. Some of the Pharisees said, this man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath. Others asked, how can a sinner perform such signs? So they were divided. This miracle revealed Jesus' power to bring light to darkness, a testament to his divine authority and compassion. The resurrection of Lazarus, a testament of life, John 11:1-44. The tomb of Lazarus, a place of mourning, of sorrow, the grieving, the heartbroken, the hopeless, all waiting, hoping for a miracle. Among them, 2 sisters, grieving for their brother. Jesus arrives. He knows their pain. He asks Martha a question, do you believe this? Martha replies, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who is to come into the world. Jesus says, take away the stone. Then Jesus calls out in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. The dead man comes out. This miracle wasn't just about physical resurrection, it was about spiritual renewal. This man, once dead, was given new life by Jesus. He was given a second chance. This sign pointed to Jesus' authority, his power over life and death. Just as Jesus showed he is the light of the world, John 8:12, John 9:5, by giving the blind man sight, John 9:7. So here he raises Lazarus from the dead, John 11:43-44, demonstrating that he is the resurrection and the life, John 11:25. These miracles, they weren't just events, they were encounters. They sparked something. In those who witnessed them, a flicker of faith. The multiplication of the loaves, John 6:11, is reminiscent of the manna. In the healing of the blind man, God was to be glorified. John reaffirms that Jesus is the light of the world. The blind man comes to see more and more, not just physically but spiritually. His belief wasn't just in a miracle. It was in the one who performed it. These signs weren't just for show. They were catalysts. They challenged preconceived notions. They pushed people beyond their doubts. They revealed the heart of God, a God who sees, who heals, who loves. These signs, they weren't just for the people back then, they're for us today. They're still speaking, still revealing, still pointing to the truth. Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's still in the business of performing miracles, maybe not always in the same way, but just as powerfully. He heals broken hearts, he restores shattered dreams, he brings hope to the hopeless, he offers forgiveness and new life. These signs invite us to look closer, to see beyond the surface, to recognize the divine in the everyday. Let these signs awaken something in you, a sense of awe, a hunger for more of him. Let them remind you that with God all things are possible. Let them ignite a fire in your soul, a faith that cannot be shaken. Because the God who fed the 5,000, who healed the sick, who raised the dead, is still alive, and he's still in the miracle-working business today. God bless you.